Hey, this is Tara Cannistraci, and you're now tuned in to the Growing Up Italian podcast.
What's up, Schoonjills? Listen, if you're enjoying our content, make sure you show some support. Go get our merch. Got some fresh stuff like the shirt right here and a bunch more.
We got socks, keychains at grownupitalian.com. Boom.
It's like so funny because people get so mad at you being from Americanized, right? Like people get so critical. Like we should probably be talking about this. Italians get so critical of each other. Like, oh, you're too American. But like
we're so testing each other's Italianness.
Yeah,
right?
but it's like, be proud that we're able to embrace it at this level because the Americanized gets glorified there.
Yeah.
The movies, the
It depends. Not on social media.
No, but the arts.
The arts,
Like, film.
Yeah, like film, of course.
Even comedy. Comedy translates everywhere.
Yeah.
Comedians are in Paris. They're in...
I had Matteo Lane on the show recently.
Oh, I love Matteo Lane.
He was saying how in Italy, like a lot of people don't do shows. Like comedy shows aren't a big thing in Italy yet. It's like more like a TV show with like a comedian's the host, but
apparently they do have comedy shows, but it's not stand up.
Yeah,
it's like
when I was in Sicily, I was like, I'm gonna look for a comedy club and get up.
What did you find?
Nothing.
She found
not even in Palermo.
She found Stignoli.
Yeah, I'm like, what? There's nowhere. Rome has. Paris has.
So wait, you're Sicilian?
Yeah, half Sicilian.
Half Sicilian.
Only the good half.
The good half? Sicilian women are dangerous. That's what they say.
Oh yeah. Well, my family's from a really small town. It's like called Forza de Gro. It's 19 minutes from Taormina.
Taormina?
Yeah.
How many people are in the town? Do you know?
2,000. Well, maybe at the time.
If you count
now
the goats?
there's like 200. If you go to like ForzaDeGro.org, it's like 200 people.
If you count the goats, you got to 2,000. That's my joke.
But what's amazing about it is when I didn't realize the church my grandparents got married in, all these places in Sicily is where The Godfather was filmed.
Yeah. Is it Taormina? Yeah, that's where it is, right?
Well, it's they say Coglione, they say,
yes.
But Forza de Gro is the church, is where he meets with Apollonia's father in the cafe. That's my little...
That's your town?
Yeah, the church, everything.
I would get that tattoo. Like my town was...
We know you would get that tattooed.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. Actually I feel like a lot of kids from Astoria are from Taormina. Like they have like a hall there. Because I went to high school in Astoria, and everybody, like every Sicilian from Astoria that I knew was like from Taormina, and they have like a social club there.
Did we start?
Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah, we're rolling. I usually like to just like
do clips.
No, like I like roll into it, and then like later on we'll film the introduction. Are you first generation Italian?
No.
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 Second.
And my mother was born here.
Your mother and father? Mm-hmm. But that's good that you visited your hometown.
I did, and it was what was amazing about it is like you don't know how much of a connection you're gonna feel to something, and then like you go like, oh, it's gonna be cool, right? It's gonna be cool to see the church they got married in. It's gonna be cool to see, but when you're there, it's like another level of experience.
Yeah.
Like I got emotional, which
it's like one thing to go to Amalfi Coast. But to go like somewhere you're connected to is a whole different...
Where people know who your family was, where you can see where the house your grandparents grew up in, where they got married. Was
someone living in your grandparents' house? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it became the bottom part of it became like a little market. Mm-hmm. And then the top...
Oh, so it's a business property.
Yeah.
Commercial.
Yeah. We have commercial property in my family. No. I wish. What's so funny is my uncle's going this next week, and he said he's like, we can get a small place there. It's really crazy.
Like Airbnb, you're saying?
I mean, I don't know if I would Airbnb it. Probably.
They call it bed and breakfast there.
I mean, I'm not moving to Fort of the Grow and telling jokes. You
never know.
No, but I would.
You could.
Oh man, my career got to really tank.
Really?
I'll have to have the first comedy club ever in Sicily, and it's going to be in a town where there's nobody. Like
You could just do in the piazza.
Yeah, that's it.
How many times have you actually been there to that town?
To that town once.
Okay, once.
That was it. But I said.
How recent was this trip?
Last summer.
So it's fresh.
Yeah.
And you've been to Italy besides that?
Yeah, besides that, but never to that town. Never to Sicily.
Never to Sicily. What other parts of Italy did you go to?
I've been Tuscany, the Florence area. I did Amalfi Coast, Positano, Cinque Terre, Portofino.
Cinque Terre? Is that before Luca or after Luca?
Luca.
You know Luca? The Disney movie?
Oh.
He's from
okay.
Cinque Terre.
You could see.
I'm pretty sure.
Which one of us has kids on this podcast?
You
I'm
could
like,
tell,
who's
right?
Luca? I didn't date Luca.
Wait, but hold on. You really never watched
I never
that?
been out with a guy named Luca.
You really never watched it though?
Yeah, but I did not make the association. I love Disney. I can watch cartoons.
Are you a Disney adult?
No, I'm not one of those like fans. But I can get into
Well,
it.
my cousin Rocco, the reason why he's not here today is because he's definitely a Disney adult. Him and his wife.
Wait, but they have kids.
No. They just love Disney.
And they're in Disney right now.
Yeah.
What else?
And my other cousin, Francesca, and her husband, Jimmy, he's Polish, but we joke around and call him Giacomo.
Right.
Well, he calls himself, when we have family around, my cousin Francesca would be like, this is Giacomo. And I'm like, yo, that's fire.
Right. Yeah.
But he's so funny. But they're like both Disney adults. And honestly, like
I never heard that term. Is that did you make that up, or is that what they refer to?
I want to say I made it up.
Okay.
I'll take credit for it.
He's gonna get it tattooed on him.
Disney
Not a
adults are
Disney
definitely
adult.
a real thing.
But I mean, I would honestly, if it wasn't for the kids, I've been to Disney with the kids once, but they go like every year. They do a once-a-year trip to Disney with the mom's side. And if it wasn't for them, I would never go. It is horrible.
So I have a Disney adult cousin, and she made me go there for her bachelorette party.
No,
So
that's not cool.
The first leg of the trip was Disney, and then the second part was Vegas.
All right.
Oh, okay.
By the time
2 for
I
1
got
special.
to
But
Vegas,
how do you get
after
girls to do
walking
that?
Disney for 16-hour days, my legs were. I was in the pool at the Mandalay Bay. Like I can't pool party. I can't wear heels. At
So
this
wait, how
point.
many days was it Disney and Vegas? Was it like 2 and 2?
I don't remember. I think it was like 3 and 3, or it was serious.
That's dedication to get like people to take 2 trips.
We were young, and when you're in your 20s, you're like, yeah, I'll do that. Now,
What about
if you
now?
ask-
Yeah.
right.
You'll
I'm
get
like,
me for 1
am
for
I
2 days.
performing with Mickey? Like, to get me to go to Disney at this point in my life, I either have to have a child of that age, or I'd have to have a show.
So when you were with the whole bachelorette party, what were the activities you guys were doing in Disney?
Oh, she was intense. Those Disney adults have itineraries.
Like 6 a.m.?
They're
out?
like, I had bathroom breaks listed when I could go. It was like, you
Yeah?
have to be on this ride. It was this place for dinner. There's not enough alcohol in Disney to ever get me to go back there.
In Epcot there is, though.
Yeah.
For
we
some
were
reason,
in
everybody gets
Epcot.
bombed at Epcot. I don't understand why.
Listen, I'm going to have to definitely pack my own. It's going to be BYOB
old
for
nips,
me
like
if
the
I
50
go.
ml?
Yeah. I don't think I could do
I have an
Disney
aunt
again.
that she's a Disney adult also, and there's a ride. What's the that movie with the blue people? What's it
Avatar.
called? Avatar. Supposedly, I haven't been on his ride. They have a
The
ride.
fact that you got that, yeah.
Yeah, he knows. He pretends
He
he doesn't
speaks
know.
Sabino.
Yeah. Yeah. So Avatar ride, like it's like a 2-hour wait. So like people go 20 minutes before the park opens and everybody runs to this ride, so you save yourself like the 2 hours. I could never.
Listen, the level I give it, so they committed, right? They commit,
Yeah.
and that's great for them. I'm never waiting on a line to get on a ride.
I like
Ever
Miami
in
though.
my adult life.
Miami's I'm a
Miami's
Miami adult.
it's a little bit different than Orlando.
Complete opposite.
He's like, out of nowhere, I like Miami.
No, because I'm thinking about it. Like
Does Miami have a ride we don't know about? Maybe.
they have a lot of
You
rides.
got a few
there.
rides in Miami.
How you doing?
Oh,
No,
man.
but,
I set him up for that one. Lovely.
you like Miami or no?
Yeah, I like Miami. I've been to Miami.
Miami's a little wild, though.
I'm not a big Florida person. I don't want to insult anybody, but...
Are you sure you're Italian?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Florida?
Italian-American, but I'm not a Florida person.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It never hit me. I liked Miami when I was younger with my friends, and I'm going in 2 weeks to perform, but I
feel like the stand-up scene there is crazy.
You know what? There are a lot of good clubs now. They have a lot of clubs now.
And I feel everybody down there has like time to.
And it's also an like if you go to Lauderdale, like the East Coast of Florida, it's like being in your neighborhood. So many people have.
That you know.
From there. So
that's how it is. Yeah.
I do like that part of it. It's so funny. We used to travel when we were kids, and everybody from the neighborhood would go to the same place, stay in the same hotel.
Yeah.
Like, we're not leaving. I'm like on a beach chair in Morris Park. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm like, wait, are we all together? Are all our towels next to each other? All right, now we can be on vacation. We never escaped.
There was like a big meme, like, you're really going out on spring break to try to get with a girl that's from your neighborhood.
I'd come home and I'd have only hooked up with 2 guys in the neighborhood, It's like...
That stuff comes back
No,
with
not
you.
2, only 1.
She's a married woman.
Cutting this, yeah.
No incriminating stuff. But Miami's like my version of Disney.
That's the transition we should have had 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Because
I can't wait on rides. I like Miami.
No, you know why I thought about it, to be honest? Because in Disney, everybody knows, like, when you go out to dinner, it's going to cost mad money for no reason. Like, you're going to eat okay food, and it's like, it's like crazy. So, last time I was in Miami, we're going to have to take that part. Last time I was in Miami.
And then he got canceled over Disney.
For that, too.
You're not in Florida, honey.
I know. You're right about that. But the last time I went there, it was F1 weekend. And in Miami, there's like 3 restaurants everybody goes to. Like, and I know people that work at each spot's like, oh, it's $500 a head tonight. I'm like, for what? Just to sit down and eat.
Right.
That's why I thought about like Miami, because it's the same thing. Like every day in Orlando is at least $1,000 a person.
Right.
When you think about parks, food.
Have you gone with your kids?
To Miami or?
No.
I want to bring them to Miami.
That's probably where they would conceive. No. Did you have, ever take your kids to Disney?
One time. Well, but like I said, they go every year and they love it. And I think I'm going to go with them this year.
But it's astronomical, no?
Yeah.
To go as a family? Like, that's the trip for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
love
expensive, but they love it.
And what age, how old
My
are they?
kids are 7.5. I have twins. Yeah, they go.
So they
crazy.
can, at least they can appreciate it at 7.5. Like
Yeah.
when people go with their 2-year-olds, I'm like, I'll take a picture of my kid with Mickey next to it and be like, that was you in Disney. Because at 2, you're not going to know.
So where do you like to go on vacation? You're not a Miami person, not Orlando?
I'm not, oh, man. He said that like a little judgy in his voice.
I have a little bit.
So sorry about Florida. I'd like to go to Europe.
Okay.
So,
listen, me too.
So I've done Italy, 3 or 4 times. I've gone to safari. I've done East Africa. I've done Greece.
What goes on there?
I ate a lot of bananas because I was like not eating any of the meat on safari. It's epically beautiful. I slept in the Serengeti. I saw,
What's a Serengeti?
It's a desert. It's a desert.
And you slept in the desert. No, I really genuinely.
That was not
in
Europe.
my head. I was like, but she slept in the spaghetti.
I did go to Africa and loved that trip. Like went to Tanzania.
So when you're on safari, you're eating like weird meats.
Not me. I'm eating like.
No, but they're serving weird meats.
They were like, oh, I was like, oh, what's this? Like they had spaghetti, right? And then there was like it was plain spaghetti, and then it had a sauce, and I was like, well, what kind of, what is that? And they were like, that's meat gravy or meat sauce, and I was like, oh, what kind of meat? And they were like, meat. And I was like, well,
whatever you want it to be.
I'm going to pass on the meat, which in my head was just like monkey. And I was like, I'm not eating this.
What's the weirdest thing you ever ate?
Tripe, because as a kid, I didn't know any better.
And did you like it or no?
I didn't think I loved it, but they made me try it. And then they told me what it was.
It was chewy, right? I actually never tried it.
I thought it was fish.
Yeah?
I thought it was fish, and then they were like, it's the lining of a cow's stomach.
A lot of people judge me because I don't eat a lot of fish.
I mean, it's not as bad as, not like in Florida, but no, you know what? Fish, why? Because it's a very Italian thing, fish? What?
I mean, yeah, because everybody's like, how are you Italian? You don't eat a lot of fish. But as I got older, I started trying everything over, and now I do eat like most of it.
What part of Italy is your family from?
Salerno.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, where we're from is the mountains. The water is 30 minutes away. Because in Italy, I feel they really do follow the rules. Mm-hmm. Like, if I go to my town and I have, like, pasta with shrimp and I put cheese, they'll snap.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sicilians do cheese on fish.
Do they?
Yeah, but I don't do it.
In your town?
Yeah, but I don't do it. That's like cheese on fish. It could be a
Are you sure they do?
Sicilian
They
thing.
do it?
Yeah, I don't do it. Like spaghetti and if I do spaghetti and clams.
I'm putting cheese on that.
I'll throw a little cheese on it.
Maybe a little cheese and spaghetti, but probably not shrimp scampi or anything like that. I wouldn't do it.
Is shrimp scampi an authentic dish?
Well, yeah. If you're in a restaurant where you get, I'll get like shrimp scampi with garlic and oil pasta on the side.
I got to question everything now because everybody judges us. Like,
with the Alfredo, you can't have this, and it's. Can we talk about that though? The judging, because it's like absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying I never pretend to be Italian off the boat. But it doesn't, like, the fact that it's so anti each other, I don't see that in other ethnicities.
Cultures, right?
I mean, listen,
maybe
I'm not immersed in them.
Yeah,
because I'm not immersed in them. Yeah. But I'm on social media enough to see the takedown. Even myself, like, I did a video, it was so innocent. It was like words and phrases I heard growing up in a New York Italian neighborhood. It was like a nostalgia thing. I almost took it down. Like, I just put the camera up to my face and I said words I heard.
What words?
Like Avon or like
oh yeah, those will get people mad.
Oh my God! Well, like or
it's not Gavone,
right?
It's Cafone.
Yeah, no, I know it's like no, but like next level, like Mama Luke or like Bachgaloop or like just things that were like the majority of people were like, oh my God! Like I was getting DMs from people like, my parents have been gone for 20 years, and then I watched your video, and it felt nostalgic, like beautiful. And then there'd other people that be like, "Disgrazia, you're a disgrace, you're a lowlife." I was like, whoa.
Was it like 50-50 of that, or?
No, it wasn't. I believe it or not, I see the comments that a lot of people get. I shut people down right away. I also respond to people in a way that, I know how to handle it, but.
You get feisty, don't you?
No, like some people, I go, wow, I can't imagine what kind of life you must live. That you have to come on a page and be so offended. I didn't realize you were so sensitive.
Yeah,
then you just start like digging.
Negative comments are good though.
Listen, for the algorithm. Now I thank people like, oh my God, thank you. You're helping the algorithm so much. Like I can make people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that they're helping.
We have this one girl on our TikTok. I don't even think it's a real page. It's like some cartoon as the Avi, and she literally like comments on every video the most negative things. And I was like, the other day I was like, yo, I should delete, like I should block her. And then I'm looking, she commented like on 30 times on one video. I'm like, nah, let her stay. Stay. She's alright.
The haters help.
Yeah, it does.
I hate to even think that way, like, but it's part of it, and it's like the more love you get, then you're gonna get even more hate. And I realized that, like, the videos were never even comics, like, nobody's ever trying to offend you. Like, I don't get up on that stage and say, who can I insult tonight?
Do you follow, like, the rules, or do you, like, believe, like, comedy's not going to
be censored, and I announced that.
Yeah? Is that, like, a thing as soon as you start, you say that?
I don't say it as soon as I start. Listen, I've gotten to a point now where a lot of people are coming to see me, so they know what they're getting. Mm-hmm. But, there are people in that audience that just came because they wanted to go to a comedy show that night, or they came because their friend told them to come see me. So I kind of earned their trust from the start, right? I give them what they came to see. And then somewhere in the middle or towards the end, I start talking about, like, the censorship of comedy. And I do it in a way that's funny. And I cross lines after that.
Do you feel you could cross the lines on stand-up, but not on, like, your online persona? Because I feel you have two different things going. Like, stand-up's one thing, and then, like, you do funny stuff on Instagram.
So that's so interesting that you say that, because I recorded my solo album, and we're going to, release it soon. And I love the album. I'm not taking the joke out. But when they wanted to clip it and post that joke on social media, I said no. I said the joke's staying in the album. But and I'll do it on stage for as long as I think the joke belongs there. But I don't want this clip to live on this. I don't want it to be in the climate and culture that we live in. I don't want to be judged off of people thinking, you know, this
It's so
means
funny,
more
yeah.
than what it is. And I would have never, unless I watched that right now, I would have answered that differently. Had a week ago, before I saw the clip they wanted to cut, I would have been like, no, whatever I say, I do, I put it online.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
You can't.
So that's the joke that's getting you canceled?
You know what? No, but it's the joke that they would come at me for to try. And listen, I go, nah, the joke's gonna stay, but I'm not gonna clip it. I'm not gonna put it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough for you guys. I can't. I mean, even like what I just said before, it's we cut out.
Right.
Like every once in a while,
Yeah.
I'll have one or two of them, you know. But,
Oh yeah, we do them. We cut.
But it's tough. It really is. And I feel like too many people are quick to try to cancel someone. But I guess that's the social media world.
It's like the fact that people are offended so much by things. Like if I see something that I think looks, and you and I talked about this when we talked about like Italian culture. Like I'm not going to dummy it down. I'm not using double negatives. I'm not over accentuating my accent. This is unfortunately what I sound like for a lot of people.
By the way, my outline, we do say you have a great accent. That's literally what we were talking about.
So it's.
Do you play it up a little bit?
No, and that's the problem. Like somebody said to me at the Chaz event, they go, "What I love about your accent so much is that we could hear it's just your accent." Like I see this over accentuating and the using the double negatives and the cursing all the time, and I go, "That's not the persona I want people to think of my people." But I don't go online and start. I just go through. All right, not for me. Keep going. The fact that people are spending their time or are so offended by it, keep it moving.
Those are fans, though, too. Believe it or not.
Listen, I've learned this. I take the comment for what it is. I respond back. And there have been instances where people go, "Oh, well, you know what?" Sometimes they just want your attention.
Yeah, that's what it is too.
Like once you respond, it's like a different
I got what I want.
Right. Oh, what's this? Oh, all right. Well, I'll follow you now. I'm like, well, no. I don't even necessarily want that. You know, like I'm gonna still do the same things that may upset you.
Me personally, I never I don't feel I ever comment anything negative. Like I don't feel like if I dislike something, I said, anything negative. Like basically, most of my comments would be like the fire emoji.
Yeah,
Like if I see something I like, I'll just 3 fires.
Right.
And keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
I'm a bad commenter.
So this is the thing I realized though: the stuff that make people offended are the videos that go the most viral.
Viral, yeah.
It's I did this
Well,
one.
go ahead.
I did this one video about golf, right? I'm golfing in Sicily with my husband, and I just start stating the obvious things, right? This video goes wild, right? Other Italian big social media platforms reposted it. It just went crazy, like 6 million on for just instantly. And then PGA memes, which is like people are not there for comedy, even though it's memes, they're there for golf, reposted it. The comments
for that was atrocious, probably.
It was like I'd take a 9-9 to her forehead. Like people were coming at me, calling my husband like, "I hope you drive off the next golf course
this
and
was
die."
in Sicily, you said?
In Sicily.
They play golf there?
I went to Shaka. I was on a golf resort. It was unbelievable, gorgeous views, the hills, olive groves in one, the water in the next. It was the best golf course you've ever been to. But I don't play golf, and so
your husband loves golf.
He likes the game. He played the game. I just stated obvious things like, why are you wasting so many balls? Why can't you just hit it straight? He hit the ball instead of saying 4. I was screaming quattro. And people
That's funny. I gotta watch that one.
But people on all the Italian platforms, oh my God, I love it. This is why I love Italian women. I love this. PGA memes, they were like, I hope you die. I was like, it's a meme. It's a joke.
Golf culture right now is trending up. DJ Khaled ruined it for everybody.
Oh,
everybody wants to be a golfer now.
Listen, I don't want to be a golfer. And when you watch this video, you'll realize I don't want to be a golfer.
Do you break your husband's chops when he says I'm going to play golf? Do you like, oh, why you gotta go? Like, just hang out?
No woman wants a husband all the time.
No?
Maybe we say it, but we don't know. No, golf, like things like that don't bother me. He doesn't play it often enough. Listen, with my schedule, a lot of both of our lives is about comedy right now. It's,
Wait, is he a comedian too?
He thinks he is. No, I
thinks
put him
he
in a few videos. He thinks he's De Niro. Like, we did one video that played in New York City taxis, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if his head. He has one line where he's like, I'm throwing out the garbage, and he thinks like the Academy's gonna call for him.
That's a video I was gonna bring up before that. I think he had like announces that he's bringing out the garbage, and then you started announcing
every single thing that I do.
That one was probably the most viral.
That one the most viral.
Yeah,
that had like, I think almost 20 million. It was, that one went crazy.
So,
but that's because it resonated. And let me tell you, another reason why that went viral is because people felt so passionately about the opposite sides. So not even with me, forget about, some people were like, insulting me, which is fine. But the fights between other people on the, I couldn't even keep up with it. Like, people are having like 37 replies to each other, 100 replies to, battling out their stance on it.
But yeah, like every time whatever they're typing, the video's just playing in the background over and over, and that's why it goes nuts. But let's talk about that video. Like, was it planned or did you just like record it on the spot?
He said it, and I go, that. Like, he announced he was throwing out the garbage, and I was like, could you imagine if I announced everything I did? And then I go, that's what I'm going to do. And I just took the camera, I filmed him saying it, and then I made him film. Because people are like, he was at work when you were doing all those things. I'm like, first of all, he's filming me. First of all, he's the man behind the phone. Secondly, you're commenting on my page. I have my tour schedule up. Like, obviously, I work too. Like, people just had this stigma in your head, like, that's where you should be. Like, some people were like, you're a woman, you should be in the kitchen, you should be, like, some people were, like, coming hard, and I'm like...
That's hilarious to me, though. It's always funny when, we do the social media stuff, so we know how it works. Like, okay, 99% of it's fake, or, like you said, your husband's filming it.
Right.
Like, they actually think, like, okay, this
woman she just sits home all day and has time to do this. I'm like, no, not at all. That's not at all what happened. He's filming. This is obviously.
Yeah. So how long have you been full-time?
10 years.
Wow. So what were you doing before?
So I had, oh my God. So are you a Yankee fan?
Unfortunately, I'm a Mets fan.
No, that's good. That's fine. I worked for the Yankees from 2009 to 2000. I did all the on-screen, like when the new stadium opens up, I would do all the in-house commercials. I'd welcome everyone to the stadium. I would do post-game stuff. I would do interviews with the players, interviews with the fans. So I did that for quite a few years. But before that, I was doing comedy, which I don't count. I was doing like sketch comedy.
Why don't you count?
Because it wasn't serious. Like, I didn't take it as serious as I did once I left the Yankees and was like, this is it. Like, if you're going to leave a great job to do comedy, you have to go all in. So I don't count. I mean, yes, I all that time on stage prior helped. And even live, I would go live in front of 50,000 people. That's not nearly as hard as doing stand-up.
Yeah.
That, talking about a commercial, interviewing somebody, look how easy, look, we have a great conversation right now, right? Going on stage.
I wouldn't be able to. I would never be able to.
Did you ever want to do comedy?
Well, when I was younger, people always said, oh, you should, from when I was a kid, like the class clown, they always like, oh, you should do comedy. I'm like, hell no. Like, I would be nervous to talk in front of people. And like, anytime in schooling or stuff, I would be like, oh no, I don't like doing that. The
first time I did it, I was like, this is insane.
So when was the official first time?
So it was before the Yankees. I was doing a sketch comedy show in the city on 44th and 9th. I'll never forget it. And the producer said to me, hey, you always wanted to do stand-up. Why don't you warm up the crowd before the show? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll write 5 minutes. And then before, the night of, he had to, push me. I was like, no, I changed my mind. I'm not, this is crazy. And he was like, well, you're doing it. and he like pushed me on stage. And once you get that first laugh, you're like, oh my God, okay, I could do this. And then you think it's gonna be easy, and then you struggle hardest, like forget 5 years of just straight struggling.
I learned like the difference between the amount of set times is what's great. Like you said, all right, 5 minutes. Maybe I could do 5 minutes if I have everything written down and I know, okay, I'll say it in this order. But like people that do an hour set, stuff like that.
Well, here's the thing with comedy: the better you get, and the more the more you're into your craft, and the more you learn. Like for me, to do 5 minutes would be harder than doing an hour right now.
Really?
I'm gonna be like, you want to like if I do like a showcase, if I open for someone like a really big name, and you're doing 20 minutes, or sometimes I'm like, or like 15 even, like you're like, oh my God, I only have 15 minutes, like.
So you would you're saying you would have a hard time to pick like what jokes.
You have to come up with the greatest hits, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I only have 15 minutes. Like I got to open for Joey Diaz and Sony Hall. Like I was like, I gotta get has to be the best 15 minutes.
You might be the female Joey Diaz, actually. Now that I think about it.
Take that as a compliment.
Yeah. With the accent, and like a tenth of the weight.
Wait, the accent kills me because what you sound different than me. You?
I don't have an accent like you. You think I have an accent? I don't think I do.
Can we go to the videotape?
I never really get like, oh, you have an accent. Like,
wait, you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm from here. Before the hipsters.
But you're also hipsters. I got an accent. Hipsters.
Hipsters.
I got an accent.
Hipsters. Nah, but I never really get that.
See, I feel like right now I'm even less of an accent. No, I'm looking at it.
Everyone's just focused on their accent now.
Yeah. Now I'm waiting for us to say things. Actually,
and people say horrible things.
Honestly, though, like I appreciate like your accent versus like a Boston or Rhode. I hate those accents.
Well, what's so funny is when I worked for the Yankees, I was originally from the Bronx. You're working for the New York Yankees, Bronx, right?
Yeah, it's like a dream job, right?
But it's corporate America as opposed to like City Fields, which is like great. Like they embraced me wonderfully. But like corporate America was like, who's this girl in her accent? Like they make you sound like you're uneducated or like I have 2 master's degrees. Like I always went to school. People will still look at me and think like I'm less than because of it. So the accent is a real sensitive topic for me. When people like over accentuate, and that's why I was saying like with the double negatives, and like don't make me sound dumb. Yes, I sound like this, but that's just because my mother sounds like this, and I grew up in the Bronx, in Pelham Parkway, and Morris Park, where we all sounded like this.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. When you say like that you were in a corporate job, do you mean like a job that you have to send like 50 emails a day?
No, but Yankee Stadium is like corporate America.
Because I could never picture
that's
like
very different than
the
City
emails.
Fields. And to me, those two worlds are very different.
Well, the Yankees don't allow like players to like have beards.
Right,
like,
and listen, it's pride, pinstripes, professionalism. It's great. It's a motto that's worked for years. Mm-hmm. But when you sound like this, people don't think you're educated, and that's the part that bothers me. Like people would, be like, "Oh, she sounds like Snooki or this," and I'm like, first of all, and no insult to her, but no, that's not at all what I'm all Italian. First of all, I'm from Italian American. I'm not from the Jersey Shore. I don't like. I got looped into that like stereotype, which is why like even when we talked about doing this, I'm like, I'm not gonna dummy it down. I don't dummy down my comedy. I'm not up there being like gabagool or like I did the Italian words and phrases, but that was a real sentimental thing. Yeah. I missed growing up in a New York Italian neighborhood.
I think I realized I might put together why she doesn't like Florida.
Okay.
I think I just got it.
Let's hear it.
Because the first thing they say is, "Oh, you have a New York accent."
Everywhere I go to France and they're like, oh, the Bronx.
Which, well, the Bronx
is famous.
If you think about it, it's the most known for the accent, I would say.
Is it? I
would think so.
I feel like it's
Bronx
real negative
Brooklyn.
stigma.
Bronx and Brooklyn.
Yeah, Bronx and Brooklyn.
Nobody ever says Queens.
People say Staten Island.
Yeah, but in like a negative way.
Yeah, but I don't think people say the Bronx in a positive light, which is something that...
Do you think the Bronx is more lit than Staten Island?
Yeah.
Yeah? By a lot?
This is my thing. Like, anywhere you go in the world, like, say, give me any part of Jersey, Edison. I was in Edison today, right? You can't go to Italy and be like, oh, I'm from Edison. But you go to Italy and say, I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah. Brooklyn and the Bronx.
Brooklyn maybe is pretty famous, too. I don't know if Staten Island's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, when you say the Bronx, people know where you're from. Like, on different continents. Yeah. Now, think about it. That's just this part of New York.
Yeah.
You know, where...
A little more. Yeah.
But, like, in retrospect, you think about other parts of any other borough or any other place, town, in any other state. Nobody knows where you're from. If you're from Ohio, you're from Ohio. You want to say you're from Columbus, you don't go somewhere across the country and say I'm from Columbus. Nobody knows where you're from.
Yeah. You know, I was, I don't know if I've ever said this story, but talking about the small towns in Italy, the town my father comes from, 2,000 people, super small town. And there's a guy there, and his nickname is U Bronx. Like, U Bronx. And in Italian, it's U Bronx. So it's like the Bronx. And I was like, you know, this guy was coming around like, oh, mo viene U Bronx. So when he walks over, it's like, I'm like, why is his nickname's the Bronx? And they're like, yo, just because he's like a crazy guy. Like, he's always like,
it's a negative.
In fights,
but that, yeah. So again, that's a real negative stigma.
But even like, people ask all the time, like, ma Bronx veramente così? Like, is the Bronx really that bad? And I'll never forget one time we had the town's wedding play. Like, he does all the weddings in Italy. He's a wedding DJ of this whole region. And this was way before, like, GPSs were on Google Maps. My dad lent me his 745 Li, and this is, like, probably 2008. I just got my license, and my dad never would lend me his car. So I'm, like, using the GPS on the BMW. Like, back then, you would have to, like, input it in the actual car.
Like the separate GPS system.
Yeah, so it's not like TomTom or Google Maps, but it's like the actual navigation in the car, and you have to like input it. Yeah. So, like, of course, we didn't put the address right, so I was just like lost in the Bronx with this car. I was a kid, and the whole like car of Italians like drive. We were like on Tremont.
Which is a great area.
Is it?
Well, it depends how far. Listen, this is the thing, right? It's like, so I just did this whole thing because on the radio, some comedian, I found myself getting offended, right? Just like I accused other people of doing. But some comedian goes, oh, what would happen if you got, she was talking to some MMA fighter. What would happen if you got held up with a gun in the Bronx? And I was like, why in the Bronx, bitch? Like,
it could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. So I go on the podcast with Chaz. I'm losing my mind, right?
They put a clip out of this.
Yeah, right? And I went crazy. That clip went crazy. Because then people are defending it fiercely, and then other people it's shit, right? Going the other way. And I understood both sides to an extent, right? Like, yes, certain areas need more TLC than others, but you can't judge one part. You can't judge an entire borough for the one part you've been to, whether it be Yankee Stadium or Arthur Avenue. So to me, it was like, I didn't grow up in the $1 million homes in Pelham Parkway either, but they exist, right? Like, that's the Bronx is so diverse in that way, and so many different cultures and an influx of cultures. So I was kind of like, just don't judge us off the one part you maybe have gone to.
Yeah. So you're from Morris Park.
I'm from Pelham Parkway.
Pelham Parkway. So I gotta be honest.
You don't know the difference.
I mean, yeah. So basically, I probably hung out in the Bronx besides Yankee games. I'm not gonna count Yankee games. Right. Just hanging out in the Bronx. I hung out on Arthur Avenue like 4 times, and that's it.
Right. That's
and
why,
Yankee games.
That's
so
right.
All I know is Arthur Avenue.
Is 187th and 161st. Yeah, that's which is right. 2 very different neighborhoods and very different from where I grew up in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the problem is we have those 2 main attractions and people just judge the Bronx off of that, which is
natural. And I've been to the Bronx Zoo a couple times.
Yeah,
2.
I was there yesterday.
Were you?
Well, because it was my anniversary, and I got married at the Bronx Zoo.
No.
So hear me out.
That's the most Bronx thing I've ever heard.
That's what I wanted. So now so for my wedding, I wanted a Bronx staple location. I got married in the church. My grandparents got married in the same church. Chaz got married in Arthur Avenue. six minutes away. I had my reception at the zoo. If you wanted to be a vendor at my wedding, you had to be originally from the Bronx, born and raised in the Bronx, or a current Bronx resident.
Not too biased.
Or you had to be Italian. Why?
You had to be Italian too?
Well, Italian was the other thing you could have been. So here's my thing. Why not? Why not? So many
It's
other
your
people
wedding.
support.
I just see it as an excuse.
Every other culture is like, oh, we're this now, we're all this. Everything's so ethnic, right? Everybody's so. So why couldn't I be?
I just see it as an excuse, like, to get less money in the envelope. Like, oh, she said we had to be from the Bronx or Italian. Take out $50.
No, not the guests at the wedding.
Oh, I was going to
You
say.
just made me a total racist.
That'd have been crazy.
I just became a
Honestly,
total. I just got canceled from his interpretation.
Honestly, though, it might be worse. The
No, the
guests and
vendors.
It might be worse.
No,
Because the guests you can control, like family, whatever.
No, I want to support Bronx.
Bad
businesses.
Bunny did something recently like that. Like, his whole album was all Puerto Rican producers. So I get it. I mean,
Did you have animals at your wedding?
So I did. I had
Obviously.
peacocks, sea lions.
wow. Who was your ring bearer?
I had little. What do you mean, like an animal? No.
Yeah, it would have
That
been
would've
fire.
been sick.
Yeah, it was-
Chimpanzee.
everybody was like, "Did you do monkey?" I'm like, "No."
Next time.
Right? Yeah.
You missed an opportunity.
I
there.
missed an opportunity. I know.
But yeah, all right, so we're talking. I feel like this episode we're talking about the Bronx a lot, but for someone that doesn't know, like
right.
me, explain what it was like growing up in Pelham Parkway.
Probably just the same as any like New York Italian American neighborhood, right? We were all. It was like in Morris Park and Pelham Parkway, the parking meters were painted green, white, and red. Like, we hung out till dark, till your mother called for you. You ate at a neighbor's house. You ate at your friend's house. Everybody ate together. It was, a great upbringing. I used to go to the corner store. I used to be able to walk around the corner with my friends. Like, there was no play date. There was no, like, scheduling when to see your friends. Like, my mother'd be like, come back when it's dark. Like, it was a safe neighborhood. It was very much about like culture, community. We Guidos and Guidettes. I'm sure there was freestyle. Yes, there was
The typical stuff.
the typical stuff. But we were loyal to each other, and like how you and I joked, like when you went on vacation, we all went to the same place, the same weekends, and stayed at the same hotel and hung out. Like there's something to be said about that sense of community. And I think that's why I love, how I'm living now. And we always advance from the next generation, right? My grandparents came here with nothing.
Do you still live in the Bronx?
I'm 7 minutes away in
So
Pelham.
you're in Westchester.
Yeah, I'm in Westchester. It's the natural progression.
Yeah. It's like us, like we go to Queens, the Brooklyn, and the people from Queens go to Long Island.
But I lived there for 30 years. I didn't.
I like how she said no. She didn't say no. She said, I'm 7 minutes away.
Right.
Like,
right.
relax.
Because but there is still that, like, if you ask me where I'm from, I have a joke about it. I say I'm still from the Bronx, and people's reaction, like sometimes that you can just see it on somebody's face. But I'm, always from there, from the Bronx. I live 7 minutes away. I was there today. I was there yesterday. I ate on Arthur Avenue yesterday.
What's the best spots in Arthur Avenue?
I like Tradonoi. It's like old school, red and white, checkered.
Yeah, it's classic.
Tablecloth.
Do you think, I don't even know if I should even ask this because it's so obvious, but, all right, I got to figure out if it's
We're not going to cancel you.
I was going to say, if
cut it
Arthur
out.
Avenue is the real Little Italy.
Of course, it's where I grew up. So yes, I guess the people that grew up in Manhattan and had, Mulberry Street feel like that's the real Little Italy.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Even with Chaz, we were talking about it, and David Greco from Mike's Deli, and people from the Bronx are like super proud.
Yeah,
I would say the most proud.
Yeah, there was a meme I saw. It's like, believe in yourself the way people from the Bronx believe in the Bronx, and it's like, that's me. You wrote that about me. Like, it's a fierce passion because we did have such a good upbringing. We did have such a good life in the Bronx that it's like you don't want it to carry that negative stigma.
When we were talking before about you and your husband and the video that went viral. I think nowadays, like, the gender roles kind of switch. Like, there are some households that maybe you will see, or, you know, it should be like that, but the guy has to pitch in more, whether it's, you know, ordering Grubhub or, you know.
My husband can't boil water, and I don't pretend.
He can't cook at all?
No, nothing.
So, all right.
He messes up pouring milk in cereal. He's the worst.
All right, that's a little exaggerated.
No, I'm not kidding.
Pouring milk in cereal?
He met everything. Is it enough? Is this? No, he's bad.
No.
No, listen, but it's who I married. But listen, yes, the gender role thing is a big. That's why that video went so crazy.
Yeah.
Because people got.
But there's
defensive.
like a lot of guys, like, okay, me personally, right? If I were to date a girl that makes like mad money, like, I'm ready for it. Like, I'm staying home.
You've heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, like
Sabino is ready to be the house husband.
Like, I need like a nice 60-year-old woman that's gonna take care of me.
Here's the thing: do you like being domestic?
No.
No, you don't like it.
Not at all. I'm actually like the worst.
Okay.
Like, I have a cleaning lady once a week.
Okay.
She does my laundry and cleans the house.
That's good.
It's nice.
It's acceptable.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do. I mean, I do know how to do laundry. I'm just not a good folder.
Okay.
So, like, let's say I'm running low on towels. I'll do the towels, but
Right.
you know.
Do you cook?
I'm a short order cook, so sandwiches.
Okay.
Maybe I could grill something. I could put together a good amount of meals, like.
Okay.
But do I like to cook? No, I like to cook when I'm making money, like for the shop downstairs. You know, like when I got to make a new menu item, I'll smoke weed and cook, but. I really don't like cleaning.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Listen, here's the thing about the video, right? It's modern day. Women are making money. Like, you know, like I said, when people were insulting me, I'm like, you're commenting on my page saying I don't work, but my schedule's up there. Like, you don't even know whose page you're commenting on. But the truth of the matter is, and maybe it's I do enjoy cooking. And as much as I complain about doing the things in the house, that's a control thing too for me. I want things a certain way. I can let things go. I won't. You know, I always say, if I didn't do these things, we'd live in squat. Like, how would we live? How would this house look? But, like, I'm not going to let it. And it's...
So dinner at your house, is it a big thing?
Yeah, I mean, I work nights a lot.
Yeah, because you're always...
But I cook dinner.
So you cook dinner before you leave the house?
Uh-huh.
Damn, she's a real one.
And
Your jokes just hit harder for me.
Also...
Like, I'll laugh more now. Like, that's...
I enjoy it, too.
So
it could be a cultural thing.
Like, let's say your show's at 8, so what do you cook at 4 or 5?
Yeah, I'll cook dinner before I go.
And, like, you leave it on the stove?
I'll tell. So a lot of times this is true because we don't have kids yet, and my husband is really into the comedy scene. If he comes with me, I always say we should film this because people wouldn't believe it. And I've done some things where, like, he's eating dinner on his lap in the car driving me. I'm like, well, you know, but I will pack dinner for us. Like,
So the show, at the show.
Meal. Like, yeah. Like, there's some comedy clubs, they feed you, they're this. I'm like, no, we're not eating comedy club. We're not doing this. We're not.
You don't like the fruit platters?
It's not even fruit platters. It's like, you know, sometimes what do they really have at most comedy clubs?
Cold cut platters, fruit platters.
Chicken tendies.
I don't know if, chicken
tendies,
tenders. I'm not
fries.
eating. Yeah, I'm not. That's not.
You don't like chicken tenders?
Not for dinner, no. That's not. If I'm at a
What
baseball
else would you
game,
have
maybe. No, I bring like pasta. I bring like
Really?
I bring like real whole meals.
And you bring utensils too?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Wow.
I see the potential as this for like your Instagram and like TikTok content.
Yeah.
Just do like today's meal for the comedy show.
Right. I've done like I've filmed him before, like eating, like in the car. Like, tell me why you love, you know, comedy. Oh, it's so glorious. You know, he's like eating pasta on the on the dashboard of the car. But I enjoy cooking.
If you're not performing, is it like something like around this time?
I do meal prep a lot. So like if I have, because of my schedule, like I'm here this morning, I was, you know, in New Jersey. Now I'm in Brooklyn. So like if I know I'm going to have weeks like this where in my days, or, you know, I have the album, I have to do this, or I'll meal prep like on a Sunday or a Saturday morning. I'll do like meal prep.
So,
and I'll make
like
things in
chicken
like
cutlets,
bulk.
you're saying?
Yeah, I could do a thing of chicken cutlets. I can even do a thing of chili. Like I'll try and be healthy which the things that my grandmother would never have done, like the generational thing has, just because I love to cook, which is so part of my culture, the spin on certain things.
Like what?
You know, like if I'm trying to be healthier, like, you know, turkey chili. I'm sure my grandmother never made turkey chili before,
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
definitely
yeah.
not
But like
for sauce, maybe.
I'll make things like, you know.
I mean, yeah, turkey chili hits though. It's like high protein.
It's
no
all
carbs.
protein, no carbs, you know, all vegetable. And
Yeah, we're live in Brooklyn, guys.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of stuff.
what's so
going on.
funny is that's funny how that just happened. I was defending fiercely the Bronx I was doing a comedy show in Colorado, and they were like, "Oh, the Bronx," you know, like whatever. And I was like, "It is so safe here. I had a great childhood," and then sirens just went off in the background, and I'm like, "Oh." Get the siren. And they were like, "Were those sirens?" I was like, "There's an ambulance, an old lady." Like I found myself making up a complete lie to defend it, but it was like totally like a crime scene that they were running to, and I was like,
When here all the time we get that. I mean, even sometimes when
"You're
it's
on
like,
a main road here."
Yeah.
it's a bus route.
The
Truck route,
the
every day.
people getting off this exit, I was like, "There's a party happening and that I didn't know about."
It got worse lately. I don't know why. And when you got here, we were talking about that. Like, I'm that jerk off that just goes on a right and just flies by everybody. I don't know if I should admit that. I'll get like 6 tickets in the mail now.
No, the one that you don't wait on the line and then you just cut.
Yeah.
They say
Like
that
the
you.
shoulder,
They
the
say
shoulder.
you need people like that.
They should just make it 2 lanes.
They
though.
said that if some people didn't do that, I don't know if this is true. It's some stupid thing I read, but if some people didn't do that, that the line it would be too crazy about it, you know. So you kind of need the people who.
That's why I do it, to be honest.
You
Like,
are a
say-
humanitarian. You are about the people. How selfless did we learn Sabino to be in this
Exactly. In
episode?
this episode. Actually, speaking of selfless, I mean, there's an article I saw go crazy, and I want to get your opinion on it because it's like a trending topic. So, supposedly New York is passing a law that pizzerias need to pay more taxes or something with coal-fired pizzas. Did you see it?
No.
Yeah. So
Is it because of pollution?
yeah, exactly. And Elon Musk tweeted, "This isn't true." Like,
Well,
it
then it's
doesn't-
not.
I mean, I believe Elon,
I mean, when in doubt.
but I want to get your opinion on that. You know,
Should-
being a girl from the Bronx, a
Should
woman from the Bronx.
Right. Should coal-fired pizzerias have to pay more in taxes?
Yeah. Or should they have to convert to, gas ovens?
I mean, everybody wants coal-fired pizza. We're
Tastes
actually an institution that's creating something so wonderful for our communities that we should probably not even have to pay taxes for that.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
She's on something. Speaking of Elon Musk, you saw that he wants to fight Mark Zuckerberg in a cage match?
No, I did not.
You didn't see that?
No.
Do you have Instagram?
Yeah, I do. Listen,
Do you just
I'm
watch
not
your
a
videos
good.
over and over? Read
I'm
your
just
own
like,
comments?
let's see. Let's write. If I have to respond to all these negative comments, I can't
Yeah.
watch Elon Musk. And I have
But
to
yeah,
respond
so
to the
in the
haters.
cage match, no holds bar, gun to your
Is this
head.
a real thing? Because people say
No, this is
Elon
a real-
Musk says
I mean-
things then.
I'm pretty sure Elon tweeted it, right?
They said they want to do it.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, by the way.
Zuckerberg, yeah.
There's no N?
Zucker.
All right, Mark Zuckerberg. Tongue twister there. Versus Elon Musk. Gun to your head. Who are you picking in a cage match?
Elon Musk in a heartbeat.
No shot.
No?
Supposedly the other guy,
Zuckerberg's
trains.
a Brazilian jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
Oh,
expert.
I was uninformed.
He does look nerdier,
I made an
though.
uninformed
Yeah, he does look
decision.
nerdier.
Yeah, he looked. Maybe it's the look, but I think Elon Musk also has that like little bit of like you look like the crazy in the eyes, where you can't. You
Yeah.
can't. We learned one thing. It's that you can't fix crazy in the eyes. Like if somebody's crazy
Yeah.
in the eyes, you're never winning a fight. You're never gonna change their minds.
I actually think they should promote that fight, Battle of the Nerds. Honestly, that would be the greatest pay-per-view fight in history. Like, it'll outsell any Mayweather fight, Tyson, anything.
I don't think it's gonna actually happen.
It'll be sick.
I mean, is that what you do when you just get bored? You have so much money. Like, I want to know what point. Like, at what point am I going to earn enough money that I'm like, I want a cage fight Sabino.
I don't know if it's too soon to say.
Brooklyn versus the Bronx.
I would pay to see that.
I don't know if it's too soon to say, but some rich people might say, let me go see the Titanic in a submarine.
Listen, it's never too soon. It's never too soon in comedy.
I mean, that's what happens when you have money, you know? People start
which was what we all thought.
Yeah. We're talking about some trending topics here. I know,
I loved the Italian because I did a thing where I was asked, if your husband sleeps out, if you guys are apart, do you want him to text you or call you when he gets in? And I said yes. And people,
if he doesn't, it's a fight.
Well, he wouldn't not, right, Sabino? Because he's married too.
Yeah.
But people were like, "Oh,
I'm so bad at this. As you can tell, this is why I'm single."
Oh, we're gonna give you tips.
Yeah.
We should do dating tips for Sabino.
Yeah. Actually, if I may ask, because this was a question I had, a lot of things I see now is a big age gap from men and women. And now even more so that older women are dating younger men.
Yeah.
So I want to know your opinion on what you think a good age gap is.
I mean, listen, as you get older, I think the age gap could get bigger. I think when I was younger, I always had a boyfriend who was a few years older than me. I married someone a few years older than me.
What's a few years?
5.
Okay, that's not bad. That's amateur numbers.
But I don't want to, now, if, say, today, tomorrow, I found myself single, somebody much younger than me, no.
What about, 30 years older? Would you do it?
30's a stretch right now. 30's a stretch. But can I say that I could be attracted to somebody 15 years older than me now? Yeah.
15? I feel like 15's light. No?
For you?
No, I'm just saying, let's say, all right, I'm 33.
It also depends who it is.
It's valid.
It's valid. She probably got, a S550 Benz,
This can't be his dating profile.
Honey, let me go.
He's really looking for a sugar mama.
Yeah.
We're going to do matchmatching for Sabino, but this part's going to be cut out.
Let me borrow the car to go get some groceries,
So basically, you want a sugar mama.
I want to be a stay-at-home.
Everything I'm
podcaster.
hearing from the age thing, how do you feel about the old woman, younger guy? I'd like to stay home. What I'm hearing right now, Sabino.
There's a trend.
You were like, I'm a short order cook. I'll do the towels. What I'm hearing right now is a little bit of a pitch. Is a little bit of a pitch for an older woman.
You know what it is? I live in Howard Beach, and you know about Howard Beach or not?
I know of Howard Beach.
Okay, so I live there.
I know Russo's on the bay, right? And is that what I'm supposed to know?
At a wedding there?
Okay, see?
But what I'm
That's
noticing,
my Yankee Stadium.
Exactly. So yeah, Bronx, Howard Beach, same kind of thing. Over there, there's a lot of older women that have nothing to do during the day.
Desperate housewives.
But they have husbands.
That doesn't change. Just because there's a goalie there doesn't mean, you can't score.
So so you'd be okay with the not having a commitment? At this point in your life,
honestly break my heart probably. But if she was taking care of me, maybe I could pretend I don't see what's going on. Just saying.
What if you had a 48-year-old divorcee?
That's fire, yeah. That's fire.
Is
your car payment due?
No, honestly, my
our
lease,
time's hard now.
My lease,
Disney is expensive. Yeah, this guy needs.
You know why? Because I've been doing this podcast a lot, and it's just not getting us where we need to be.
Right.
So I just want to.
Can we do a lower third GoFundMe in this?
I want to speed up the process a little bit.
Sugar Mama Sabino, .org.
It's either Sugar Mama or I need another a pod with De Niro. So a pod with De Niro's not happening.
Right.
I already got Chaz, what else is going to help me,
I think you got your hands on a lot. You have a big social media presence.
Doesn't make any money, though.
You can monetize.
We post other people's stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe we could think of another thing.
All right. Ladies, this is a public service announcement. If you are between the ages of
Venmo, Zelle,
39 to 54... Can we go that high?
Wait, 39?
You could go even
That's
higher,
21
it sounds
years.
like.
I want to be like Anna Nicole Smith. I want to go 78, 80.
If you have a will,
if you don't have a will, hit us up. If you have a will, no good.
no, if you have a will that you're willing to revise.
We revisit. We'll go to a lawyer.
If you've called Colonial Penn in the last 3 years.
What were some of your favorite episodes that you see on Growing Up Italian podcasts? Like when you heard about this show.
I watched the clips.
Did you only see us because of Chaz? Be honest.
No.
That's really what I want to ask you.
No, because people send you. See, that's what I love about Italian American culture. Which brings up such a great point is that we share things. We're like you created, and I had this conversation when we spoke, a platform to celebrate Italians. Whether people get insulted or offended, it is built on pride for other people like you. Like, so that's, people will send me like, oh, what do you call this? Or you did, an episode where you could say, can you, am I less Italian if I don't speak Italian? Or, how do you say this? I love bringing up all those topics because they're real topics. And to me, when you talk about real and you're not dumbing it down and you're not, that's what I like to watch. I can watch Chaz talk all day long, but I also host a podcast with him. And, and I'm friends with him. I could hear the stories over and over again, right? But what I like is when you talk about the general Italian-American things or the hating on each other for certain reasons, because that's really what we're all facing. Yeah. And I could do an hour on stage before I ever had social media. I had other comics being like, you need to do social media. You're a headliner. You have an hour. What are you doing? And I'm like,
you think that was the biggest difference for your career? Like focusing on social media?
Hands down.
Yeah.
I can tell you now I hate it. I can tell you now I'm not good at it. I can tell you now that I'm just learning the ropes.
Oh, on social media you're not good?
I'm just learning the ropes. If I had to say within the last year is the only time I really put any time and attention into it.
Better late than never.
Right. But it is, listen, am I so grateful that that it's hitting for me now and I can prove myself on stage? Yeah, I would have hated to start becoming popular and then couldn't do the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like now at least
Good
people
foundation.
are going to come back and see me or tell other people to see me. They're not coming just to see a social media star because I'm not.
I feel like your shows might be a good place to find one of these women I'm looking for.
Let me tell you, you should have been in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah?
On Thursday. Yeah.
Was a lot of gumas there?
It was no, but there was definitely it was nice Italian American mix.
I could picture like all the like single, divorcees. Like a lot of your clientele got to be that couples, right?
Yeah, you know what I love a lot is that guys, that my demographic, because I'm just learning about social media, is 50-50.
Oh, that's great.
Which is like unheard of.
Yeah, I was going to.
And like 1%, maybe 1.3% more male.
That's great.
And I think that, so there are women that came to the show that like, my brother took me to see you, my husband took me to see you, my boyfriend took me to see you, and I'm like, that's great. Like that for me is, which you would only want. And then
there's like
sister.
Single guys like me that are already ahead of the curve. Right. And know that's where you find.
Right. And you're like, listen, this bitch may be funny or not. I don't really care. All I know is
she's from the Bronx.
Right, she's from the Bronx. I like her accent. Maybe she'll got a punchline or two. And I could meet her friend Natalie. That's what I care about. Natalia and me. I'm gonna have a nice little dinner.
I have to ask a question about Chaz, and you gotta confirm if it's true or false.
Okay.
So he's told me that
we may have to take this out.
Yeah, no, he's told me that he's done, like when he does his podcast, he does like 8 a day. Mm-hmm. Can you confirm?
Yeah, I can confirm I'm there.
That's insane. So today,
the man's a beast.
I don't know. Do you think it's harder to do an hour set stand up or a podcast?
I mean, podcasts it would be harder to do the 8 podcast. An hour set is nothing. That's work for me. That's a night. At work. That's a day at work.
All right, so that's three 1 hour sets.
I do. That's taxing. To do like when I have double shows, even I don't like it.
Yeah, when we were talking with Chaz, like I was saying, like I try to get some questions I really want to ask him, but he also told me that he does no outline, 8 shows. I'm like, that is crazy.
Like we have which I really love, is that he's asked me for comedians that I'd like to see him interview or people I'd like to see him interview, and I've been able to get people on. And he's a conversational. Like, I mean, so are you, which, you know, I think when you first called me about this, you were like, oh, it's just going to be me and you, and we can. But this flowed. Like, I was like, oh, are we on? Like, what's happening?
And to be honest, before you came, me and him, I was like, I don't have an outline.
Right.
Except like what we spoke about. I was like.
So he you know, he asked you what you want. You know, obviously you want to know what people want to talk about, right? These are artists, right? People want to either promote something or speak about their come up, or, you know,
exactly.
and audiences want to know. Mm-hmm. But he can do one on his own, then he'll do 3 with me and Catherine.
Yes.
You know,
Or some guest you said to Chaz, like, besides French Montana.
No, I didn't say that. I just saw him post the picture, but I was like, 2 Bronx guys. I want him to have Fat Joe on.
Well, that would be a great, like, 2 opposite, like, Bronx stories.
Right,
you know?
but greatest of all time in their element, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so pro Bronx. Like, Fat Joe never stops giving back.
Too.
That's exactly what we were talking about. It's all right, guys. He had no outline for this.
You said French Montana.
No, I said I just saw a picture of him in French Montana. I thought that'd be great, but I really want him to have Fat Joe, and that's when him and I were all on board with it.
I had my own idea.
Oh, ladies, if you're still interested,
never mind.
If you're still interested in Sabino, we will cut this part out so that your friends can never Google it and find out that you're dating the guy who didn't catch on.
An idiot. Yeah, Fat Joe would be good.
Fat Joe.
Jadakiss.
I
think who else? Who else?
Jadakiss is not from. Jadakiss is Yonkers. Yeah.
He's 7 minutes away from the Bronx.
Yeah. 13, but.
Who are some people you would like to work with?
As far as comedy,
listen, you're a
I wanted to
monster.
work.
You could do Instagram or.
You know, it's so funny when I saw 2 people on there was a show called The Degenerates for stand-up comedy. It did like compilation 20-minute sets, and I saw Joey Diaz and I saw Miss Pat, and I was like, I want to work with them, and I worked with them. And I think there's something about that, like saying it and speaking into and it really happening and really getting yourself to a place where you get recognized by those people where they take you on, and it's like, wow. Like, I said it and I did it. I didn't say it like I was my only mission. I said it like, oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
And then you work your way to it. And then you're like, that's
the thing about, you know, this whole social media and just being an artist like yourself. I mean, are comedians considered artists? I would say so, yeah.
And that's why I get so upset when people try to censor comedy, because it's art.
Yeah, exactly. So for people in that field, you got to think differently. And the only way to get to your dreams is putting it out there, like you said. Like, even for me, for 5 years, I've been saying, I'd love to have Chaz on. And it happened, you know?
And
now I'm like, damn, what am I going to do?
And you were there at the 30th anniversary.
Yeah. About that was nice, right?
That was, you know what, I'm so glad I had that experience. Because I've seen the one-man show. I've seen the Broadway musical. I've seen the movie a million times, but never like that.
Well, that was the first time it was shown in 4K, right?
Right, and it was at the Beacon. It was almost like seeing a live show.
Yeah.
It almost didn't have like you were watching a movie. It felt like a live show. We all laughed at the same time.
Yeah.
Obviously, when the actors that were in the room came on screen, we all applauded. It felt
Chaz, De Niro, and Catherine. Yeah.
It felt like we were part of something. I thought it was really special.
Yeah, I mean, that movie, I would really put it up, especially after rewatching it again. It's like the whole movie is just so quotable. Like, everything is so well thought out. And like you said, when these like iconic lines, whenever they came up, the whole crowd was wrong.
Right.
I mean, I was sitting right next to Chaz's son, Dante, and a little quick story, but Dante, we used to do like a lot of social media stuff with him in here. And we always like would say, yo, I want to get you on the show. And he would say like, once I have like an album or something coming out that I want to promote. And I ended up interviewing his dad first. So this is like the first time I saw him in 3 years. So I was like catching up with him. And somebody in front was like, shh. I'm like, lady, we all know what's about to happen. Like, so that was, you know.
But it was, because it was like really seeing like a live show. It was almost like seeing it for the first time in a different way, because I had never saw it. First of all, you never saw it with De Niro and Chaz in the room. Like,
yeah.
That's its own element.
Yeah,
First of all, you're at the
intimidating
Beacon. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from like seeing him, I'm like, man, this guy's like pretty serious all the time.
An
You probably
artist.
know him better
He's
than
an
me.
artist. I think it's just that I think it's so funny. You think somebody's gonna be a certain way. Like even with me, like
No, I knew he was like. I mean, from everything I've seen, everything leads in that direction. That he would be like, you know, he gets probably pulled in every direction.
I can't imagine the amount of people that want to make contact.
Yeah.
You know, in a given day.
Yeah.
So
How many
think
people
that's-
hit you up to give Chaz like a script or something?
I don't get hit up for scripts.
What do you
But
get hit
people
up
go,
for?
people want to either be on the podcast or
That's so funny. Is that? Who'd want that? No.
let's do dating for
Listen,
Sabino on the Chaz
if you got the
Commentary
older
podcast.
women, imagine what kind of women Chaz got listening to this pod.
I think we should do a whole clip. I think we should do a clip where we try and
My whole
get him.
podcasting career, I'm going strictly for this now. Like,
Dating?
dating like older women in the 70s
And there's
and 80s.
the new Anna Nicole.
Yeah, and Nicole Smith. By the way, I hope you know I'm just.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is-
no,
this
it's
is-
fine.
this is
No,
my
I
style.
thought this was good.
Yeah. For Tara Cannistraci, by the way, right?
Yeah, you say it right.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
I didn't
American,
say your name
right.
this whole time.
Cannistraci is how they say it in.
Cannistraci?
No, see, Cannistraci. But I say Cannistraci. I Americanize it.
It sounds better too.
Definitely.
With the accent too, is
Sounds like-
you know.
Can you scratch my chachi?
Listen, everybody that's tuning in, make sure to check her out. Tara
Thank you.
Jokes on Instagram.
Yes,
we'll
Tara
put your
Jokes.
link in the bio.
Thank you.
Make sure to see a live show.
A live show, especially if you were between the ages of 39 and 54.
I gotta come see
and
a
you're
live
a
show.
female, and you think that what you're seeing right now is a little bit of interest
I
to
mean,
you.
listen,
Come to a show.
I might have to come on tour like every show until we
You could be my bodyguard.
It's
He's like, no, I can't
Nah,
do that.
nah,
I'll
nah.
wash your towels.
I'll be like your
I'll make you a
prosciutto mozzarella
sandwich.
maker.
I'll make you a sandwich.
Thank you all for tuning in. Ciao, ciao.